I feel like this video is so depressing. Hi everyone, I am back with my Plutikins. I've just been working all day and he's just been chilling and napping and keeping me company. Hello. He's like, Mom, what are you doing? So today I wanted to talk to you about what it's like having a dog in your early 20s and some things that I thought about before I got Pluto when I was, I think it was 23. This was last year. And some things that I think anyone who's thinking of getting a dog in their early 20s should really consider before you make a really big decision. So let's get to it. I remember when I was in college that I just really wanted a dog. I grew up with dogs all my life, and I don't know, I was living with my boyfriend at the time and we had our own apartment and something was just missing. And I just missed having like the unconditional love and cuddles a dog gives you. They just make you so happy. I usually research things very thoroughly, and I did that for this whole process too. I've been looking for a dog for years, like ever since I was probably a sophomore or a junior in college. There were so many times where I would actually contact the shelter or the breeder for a specific dog that I wanted. I just never pulled the trigger, and I think one, it just didn't feel right, and I think it was because I didn't fulfill all of these 4 things. So the first thing, and I think the most important thing to consider, is cost. Dogs, these little guys, are really expensive. And cost looks different for every owner. It really depends on, you know, what you want to feed your dog, how often do you want to groom them, what supplies you're gonna get. I mean, like, this can range from, you know, pretty affordable to really expensive based on what your preference is. I know people who like feeding their dogs all raw or human grade food or one of those dog meal subscriptions. Those are pretty expensive. I think at least $20 a week just for the dog food. So you really have to gauge, you know, where on the spectrum you are and then budget for that. So it's dog supplies, dog food, dog shampoo, and toys, bones, all these things add up. So when I was deciding right before I got Pluto, I actually went on Petco or somewhere and pretended to order everything I would need to prepare for Pluto. And that gave me a good sense of how much things are, how much I would be spending initially and monthly. So I wasn't so surprised about the cost of things because I looked it up beforehand and kind of planned it out. Another thing that adds to cost is vet bills. This is something you just can't ignore. You can not get the best dog food or toys or treats for your dog, but when it comes to vet bills, that's just unavoidable. There are mandatory shots your dog has to get, like rabies and all these puppy shots when they're little. But just the other day, I had to go in and they gave him an allergy shot because he was itching everywhere and we knew it wasn't fleas. And that bill came out to like 200 something. Like a random Saturday, I went in and came out with a $200 bill. I think some of that is covered, like the consultation is covered by my pet insurance, but the shot itself, I don't think is covered. He has to get his anal glands expelled every month. That's something no one ever told me and something my dogs that I've had back home never had a problem with. So yeah, that's like another $30, $40 per month. Another thing with cost is also allocating money for dog sitters or daycare for when you're either working full-time in the office or like you're gonna have to go somewhere eventually, and if you don't have, you know, family or friends to take care of your dog, you have to pay for a sitter. And when he was in his first couple months with me, oh my God, I spent so much money on a sitter just because I wasn't comfortable leaving him alone for more than like 2-3 hours. So anytime I would have to go somewhere more than that, I would have to bring him to a sitter. And although there are more affordable options now, Jesus. The second thing you have to take into account is time. Really take a look at your schedule, especially in your early 20s. There's like a lot of things going on. Like maybe you are in the last year of college, or you're in college, or you're starting your first job, and you know, things are really up in the air sometimes. If you work at an office all day, is your work dog friendly? When I got Pluto, I brought him to the office like every single day if he wasn't at daycare, and I'm so thankful my office was dog friendly and people in the office loved him, so they really helped me take care of him. They really helped me keep an eye on him when I had meetings and stuff, and there were other dogs, so it was also another way to socialize him. After a while though, I was more comfortable having him stay at home while I went to work, or I'd bring him to daycare maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But when you first get a dog, especially if you're getting a puppy, like they take a lot of time. Ow. And you're going to, I guarantee, lose sleep because of potty training, or he's fucking shit up at 3 a.m. or he's whining and like wanting to go out to have diarrhea or something at like 4 a.m. and you had a 7 a.m. meeting. It's just like you're gonna lose sleep and it's gonna frustrate you, and you have to know and be prepared for that. If this doesn't sound like a time commitment you want to deal with, totally understand. You're in your early 20s. Maybe it's not the right time for a dog. Number 3, I put living situation. And I know in your early 20s, you're most likely renting an apartment. So I put this in here because there are so many times where I've heard of people giving up their dogs or like putting them in a shelter because their landlord found out they had a dog and like was threatening to evict them. And I just find this so irresponsible. Like, you're an adult, you made a decision, stick by it. You committed to this pet. Yeah, you're in your early 20s, but that's no excuse, and it's so careless. So if you are renting, or I don't know, wherever you're living, make sure that your pet is allowed in your home. Read your lease carefully. If you have pet rent, pay pet rent. The last thing on the list, and one of the important things, ooh, and this is a big one, Ploots. Yeah, this is a huge one. This is what you took from me. You took away my freedom, but I love you. Yeah, I do. I love you. I wouldn't trade you for anything. So the last thing on the list is the biggest one out of all of these, because I think when you're in your early 20s, you know, you want to go to the parties, you want to meet everyone, you want to go out, you want to have fun, you don't want to be tied down by anything. And a dog, let me tell you, ties you down. I remember when I first got Pluto and my first month, and I feel terrible that I even said this. And I wasn't being serious. I was just so frustrated and like didn't know what to do. But I was thinking, oh my God, what did I get myself into? There are definitely times during his training months where I like wanted to rip my hair out and was like, I literally stared at him in the eye like a mom would do to like a child or something. It was like, I'm going to give you away if you do not stop peeing on my carpet. Obviously you didn't understand any of that, but like there are some low moments. I knew I had to compromise on my plans, and I like thought this all out before I even got Pluto. I was like, okay, I know I would not be able to do like last minute trips like I usually love doing. I can't just hang out with my friends morning till night because I'd have to walk Pluto. But there are some things you just don't fully realize you have to think through or have in the equation until you're in that situation. Like if you're out to lunch with your friends, Pluto's okay at home for like 4 hours while I go to lunch. And then you're at lunch and they're all like, let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. That's 20 minutes, 30 minutes away, and then have dinner near that beach, and then maybe afterwards, let's go drink at someone's place. You can't do that. Or you have to go home, walk your dog, or bring the dog somehow, or bring him to a dog sitter last minute. There's just like a lot. So you have to be comfortable missing out on some things. Like, you can't have FOMO. Like, I know how fun partying is, and like, I get it. But if you can't compromise and like really commit to your dog, then, you know, party it out for a couple more years. Maybe it's not time to get a dog yet, and that's totally fine. So those are the 4 things that I think anyone in their early 20s should consider before deciding to get a dog. A dog on average lives up to 10 to 12 years, sometimes up to 15 or older. So it's a long commitment. Don't get a dog thinking, oh, like, how cute would it be to have a dog at home? Think about like, okay, I'm gonna get a dog, and this little guy is going to be with me for the next 10 years, hopefully. It's a big decision. I feel like this video is like so depressing. I'm not trying to convince you not to get a dog, okay? There's so many good things about having a dog, especially if you live alone. This guy has given me so much happiness, even during these crazy times. All the frustration and money he requires is so worth it. You're expensive. Do you know that? You know how many rugs you peed on and I have to throw away? Feel free to leave any questions you have below. I will answer all of them. Also remember to like and subscribe. You'll be seeing more of Pluty. Okay, he's getting so more of Pluto and other videos about adulting and being in my early 20s. Actually, am I still in my early 20s? I am. Bye. Hold up, stop. Stop it. Come here. Can you be good? Come on. I'm making a video. Just stay here.